apply. Equal housing opportunity.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
There's that pit in my stomach. I hope that knot gets untangled and untied so that the Royals can be in contention for the playoffs come late August into September. I'm not holding my breath for it, but before I freak out and lose my mind about how bad things are right now, I'm going to choose to look back at last year and remember how bad 56 and 106 felt.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello and welcome into the Daily Nebraskan show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. I am Ben Droz, one of the sports writers at the Daily Nebraskan, and joined here for 3 out of the last 4 weeks is Cameron King, also one of the sports writers at the DN. Cameron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. This is a very busy day for me as an NBA fan, so I'm excited, nervous, kind of just all jumbled up right now.
Well, I heard some Lakers news, like, didn't Max Christie get a big extension or something like that?
Yeah, Christie just signed
4 years, $32 million.
Yeah, $8 million a year, player option for the last year, I think. Decent deal.
Yeah. I mean, he was pretty solid for the Lakers, I feel like.
Yeah.
I think one thing that this offseason is showing me is, like, there's been a lot of overpay, I feel like. Like, the market is so... I mean, we want to get off on NBA talk, first of all. Because free agency started an hour ago or just 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago, yeah. So I feel like in the NBA, the market is so saturated for everyone is paying everybody this big money. You don't have to be a superstar to get a big time deal.
Well, yeah, NBA deals are.
It's not what it used to be.
Yeah, no.
It's not like what it used to be. It used to be like you had to be one of the top 30, 25 players to get a big payday. It's teams are offering max Emmanuel Quickly.
You saw 175. Same amount of Justin Jefferson.
Okay. Is Quickly a top 30 player in the NBA? No. Is he a top 50 player in the NBA? Maybe,
probably not.
Again, it's just I don't know. I feel like it was a little bit of an overpay.
I mean, when you come up, when you have a guy, he comes up on his extension time, you either have a choice. If the guy's done, had any type of solid production in the NBA, you either pay him or you don't. And
but this is the thing.
You don't want to let him walk away for nothing. So
I get that, but it's just man, it's just every time they get the max every time.
I mean, well, I don't think he got a real max. He kind of got his max.
Yeah.
There's
certain max. You have to get certain accolades to get a max. But I'm pretty sure it was the most you could get.
Yeah, that deal's not that bad though.
It's not like the NFL where it's there's not really a cap on players' contracts and stuff like that. In NBA, you can only pay a player so much for that, depending on how much it is. In NFL, it's pretty sure you can pay them pretty much as you can.
Well, in a way, because there's a cap on a team.
On a team. I get that, but I'm saying a player. I'm just saying you could pay. I mean, technically, you could pay the one player all your salary if you wanted to. You're not going to. I'm saying you could. Yeah. In the NBA, you physically can only give someone so much money.
Yeah, depending on different factors.
Yeah, so it's just your star player, I have to give you the max.
I mean, yeah.
Every time.
Because
And even
if
if
you
you're
don't,
not a
another
star,
team will.
it's like even if you're slightly a star player, like quickly, like I don't even know if I would consider him a star. He's like a rising star, I feel like.
Yeah, I'll
But
say
it's
that's
like
all right.
I don't feel like he's worth that much money. But again, I mean the Raptors have money to spend, so
I mean, yeah, they have money. They have a little bit of money to spend. The other thing is too is like they just traded for him like last season. So it's like, are you gonna let him just
yeah,
walk?
for the Anunoby. That was at the trade deadline, right? Or was that off
Yeah,
season?
it was
Trade
trade
deadline.
deadline.
Yeah.
And I mean, the it's not gonna be that bad of a deal in a few years because the cap is gonna go up as well with the new TV deal and stuff like that. Like over time, it's
Mhm.
gonna in a few years it won't look like much. And that's the crazy part about the NBA. The contracts are always going
Yeah.
up.
Well, a lot of news coming out of the Warriors. Again, they waived Chris Paul. Woj tweeted 24 minutes ago. He had $30 million guaranteed if they didn't release. They had to release him the day to not guarantee $30 million.
Mm-hmm.
So he get there. I think they were trying to trade him, but they didn't get a trade done before the
Yeah,
deadline.
nobody was gonna trade for Chris Paul.
They
Making
cut
30
him,
million.
and so Chris Paul can kind of sign wherever he wants to now. And also Klay Thompson. Again, they're planning to trade him.
Yeah, so Klay Thompson is most likely going to like be involved in a signing trade. So
Yeah.
the Warriors are going to sign him to trade him since he doesn't want to come back. And the teams that he is planning to meet on are the Mavericks, Lakers, Clippers, and 76ers.
I'm going to guess not 76ers.
I don't think so either. I think the 76ers are going to like really, really try to get Paul George.
They're probably going to get Paul George. And it's just going to be not happy for me because, again, I'm a Heat fan. It's like every team in the East is improving besides the Heat, it feels like.
I mean, yeah, y'all kind of cap, like, y'all kind of spent a lot of y'all money. Y'all just got Kevin Love. He's coming back.
Woo! Woo! All the 76ers get Paul George. We get Kevin Love back. See, this is the thing. This is going to be the 6th year of the Jimmy Butler era. And
It's probably time to end it.
no, I mean, bro, they've been so close. They've been so close so many times, though.
Close only counts in horseshoes.
Hand grenades. Don't forget about hand grenades.
Hand grenades. But this is the thing with the Heat. It's like
You can give your thing and I'll give mine.
You rather trade Butler a year too early than a year too late.
They're never going to trade him.
I think
he is going to retire with the Heat.
I think it happens this year.
He's gonna retire with the Heat. I can tell you that as a Heat fan. He doesn't want to go anywhere. The front office doesn't want him to go anywhere. They're gonna try to contend. They're paying too much to this roster right now to trade him.
No, I don't think they'll try to start over, but I do think
like they're already over the tax. Like trading Jimmy Butler wouldn't do anything besides get you picks 1 year earlier. And it's just like, I don't know. They're not in a situation. They're not really in a place right now to rebuild.
I mean, I don't think they'll rebuild. I think they'll try to like get value back, but I don't know.
What
I think
value are you going to get back on a guy that's going to be needing an extension next offseason? And then he's going to need a new contract next season. He's dealt with a bunch of injuries, and he has a really, really big max contract. He's going to be making $50 million. Like, that's going to be really hard to get any kind of fair value out of.
This is why I think you guys are going to trade him, because I don't see you guys paying him $50 million.
I think they will. I think this is the thing, is if he shows that he's worth that this next season, I think they will.
I think you guys are.
I think this is gonna. I think the Heat. This is the thing, though, is they got to make a move. They got to make some kind of move, man. They should. This is my problem, was that Tyler Hero should have been traded years ago. I'm saying years ago, like not after his rookie year. Okay, because his rookie year, his trade value wasn't like, people were thinking he was gonna be like a superstar. Then it was the sophomore. Then he had a sophomore slump. It was that third year when he bounced back, had even better numbers than his rookie year, and then they just kept him and didn't trade him.
I mean, there's some trades I think you guys should have took for Tyler Hero. The problem is that like
they needed to capitalize on him having good value.
You need someone to score though, and like you guys,
you trade him for a better scorer.
I don't know,
bro. He's not a number one option on an offense.
I don't think so either. But
and Bam and Jimmy can only do so much as two guys that can't really hit threes.
I mean,
they need a perimeter player.
Yeah, and I personally, if I were going to trade someone off you guys' roster, I would trade Butler.
They're not going to trade Butler. I'm telling you that right now. He's going nowhere.
He doesn't show up for a large part of the regular season. Like he plays like a star player in the regular season, but not how good he plays in the playoffs, and you can only do that so many times.
Bro, there's so many players that do that though, like Kawhi Leonard.
And who would have more value? Like Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, like who would bring more value back? And I agree with you. Kawhi Leonard is another guy like that, but if I was the Clippers, I don't know if I would have gave him that extension either. That is, I
It
don't
is
know.
what it is.
I mean, hindsight is 2020. He was playing really well when they gave it to him, but like I definitely would have tried to wait to the end of the year just to make sure he played in the playoffs, which he ultimately ended up not.
I don't want this to be all heat talk, but again, it's just this was the problem, was that every time they'd make the finals, they would just run it back and they wouldn't improve. So the first year when they got Butler, at that trade deadline, they knew they had to make a move. They got Jay Crowder and Andre Iguodala at the trade deadline. That move made it in that bubble that they could get to the finals. That next year, they run it back. They actually lost players, but they ran back with like not really improving anything. They got worse, and they're like, okay, let's just run it back. They got swept first round. Then they finally go and make some improvements. They went and got Kyle Lowry, and guess what? They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they were one Jimmy Butler 3-point shot away from winning that Eastern Conference Finals, getting to the finals against the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next year, that was when they got the 8th seed, and they made it to the finals as an 8th seed. And okay, they made it to the finals again. They're like, okay, we're just going to run it back. It's like every time they get to the finals, they just run it back.
I mean,
And that you have to improve. No, because you see teams like the Celtics, teams like the Bucks, they make it to the finals and they're like, we didn't win. Maybe let's get better. Bucks go and get Damian Lillard. Again, they got hurt. I think that's why they're running it back, because they never really got an opportunity to see those two playoffs. But the Celtics, this is a team that's made the Eastern Conference Finals every year for the past, 4 or 5 years? I think there's only 1 year they didn't make the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't even remember. They've basically made it every
yeah, they've
year.
been there for a long time.
Even then, they traded Marcus Smart and they got Drew Holiday and they got Porzingis. It's like the Heat are the only team. It was like before. It was like, okay, you're gonna have to. It's like, are you gonna re-sign Tyler Hero?
I mean, in y'all defense, y'all did trade for Terry Rozier.
Bro, that was like the most weird, untalked about trade like ever, bro. I'm just saying, these teams, you got teams trading for Damian Lillard, Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and the Heat go for Terry Rozier.
I mean, you can get what you can get,
bro. Okay, this is the problem. Why is this all they could get? It's because they waited too long to trade Tyler Hero. He doesn't have good value now.
I mean,
the value they can get back from him is not good as just keeping him. They should have traded him before they gave him the contract.
Most likely.
They're just stuck with him now, to be honest. They still can't trade him. I see Heat fans like wanting to trade Tyler Hero for like Zach LaVine. I'm like, no.
No, I think that's more or less a wash. I think LaVine might be.
I think they're like, I don't think LaVine at his best is even that much better than Tyler Hero. He is at his best. He is better than Tyler,
but I don't know by how much.
But you don't know, one, if he's even going to be that good, and two, his contract is twice as much.
Fair enough.
So I don't know. Again, Pelicans traded for DeJounte Murray. I would have loved to get DeJounte Murray on the Heat.
That's a gripe I have, because
see, again, I would have, and you as a Lakers fan, you probably wanted them to trade. It's like, bro, why was it the most like DeJounte Murray's good, and they didn't even get that much from him.
It's another prime example of the Lakers tax. We offered them everything but Austin Reeves, and they were just, Austin Reeves has to be in the deal. Austin Reeves has to be in the deal, just to turn around in the offseason and trade him for Larry Nance Jr.
Well, they also got Dyson Daniels. Don't forget,
he's not. Let's be like, oh my gosh, that really did, that irritated me. But I kind of knew that it was going to be tough for the Lakers to make moves this offseason. With that's why I'm kind of glad LeBron is agreeing to take a pay cut, giving us a little bit of flexibility. But
I don't think you guys really have to do that much, to be honest.
No, yeah, we need a lot. We need a lot. I wouldn't say, it's not like we need to go out and get a third star, but we need like 2 to 3 solid rotation players. I think in the NBA you need 8, 7 at the very minimum, but I think you need at least 8 to 9 guys that can actually play in a playoff series.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean the whole. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be bringing back bad memories, but the whole reason this Lakers roster got this way is because you guys traded Russell Westbrook. I mean, traded for Russell Westbrook.
I would actually argue the reason our roster is the way it is now.
I think it's because you
We
traded.
did what you wanted the Heat to do. We beat the Heat in the finals, and we blew up our team. We had a weird no guys over a certain age thing. We brought in a bunch of guys that were like similar to the guys we had, and we thought they would be better, but they ended up being the same or worse. So that season, I think, kind of set the trajectory for then. We probably needed to trade for Russell Westbrook or at least another star. We just traded for the wrong one.
Let's just get back. Let's get to the Russell Westbrook trade though, because I'm pretty sure you remember this, but I'll just, for anyone that forgot, you guys traded Russell Westbrook for Kyle Kuzma, who, by the way, is averaging 21, 22 points a game on the Wizards.
I don't know about all that.
No, I'm pretty sure he's averaging that.
Let me fact check.
Again, he's on the Wizards, so that's not a very good team. That's why his numbers are a little bit blown up. But still, Kyle Kuzma, very good wing player.
22 points.
KCP, who is a integral part of that starting lineup in Denver, a team that won the finals last year.
Was. I'm
just saying, though, you guys could have used him the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you guys also traded Montrezl Harrell, which, I mean,
he needed to go.
He needed to go. But still, I'm just saying, you guys traded KCP and Kyle Kuzma, two of your best rotation players. I mean, Russell Westbrook, and then
it wasn't a good trade. Don't get me wrong; it wasn't a good.
No,
trade.
That was a terrible. But
trade. I feel like
because you guys felt like you had to get a third star.
Yeah, which we probably. I don't know if we need to get a third star necessarily, but we did need to improve the roster from what we did to it the previous season. But I mean, we kind of recovered from that. Like we traded, we were able to get off Russell Westbrook. Only cost us a pick. Like
only.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm just saying that move caused so much lateral backpedaling.
I mean, a little bit. I just think it started the season before that. But kind of sticking to some of the deals that happened this offseason.
Yeah.
What did you think of Mikal Bridges to the Knicks to form the Villanova team all over again?
See, this is a whole like Rudy Gobert to the Timberwolves thing. Not like I'm not saying that he's going to be just like, Rudy Gobert didn't do that good with the Timberwolves right away. I think Mikal Bridges will fit in great with the Knicks. I'm just saying this saturated the market. Again, this made the market so bad now because you can't do a trade now. I don't know how the DeJounte Murray trade got through and he only gave up, 2 picks? I don't even know how that went through.
I think it's a little similar to what happened with the Gobert trade. So, like, for a second, like, the Gobert trade kind of messed up the market. Like,
it messed it up so much.
Yeah, the overpay was like, oh, this is what it costs to get a guy like this? Like, oh, wow. So then you had the next couple deals were like overpays, and then a team kind of reset the market. I think we've seen that same thing happen this offseason. So you had the Mikal Bridges trade where they traded 5 of their own unprotected first-round picks, a pick swap, another team's pick and pick swaps for Mikal Bridges.
Who, I mean, to be fair, again, he's not a top 10 player.
No.
Not a top 15.
But he's like a really impactful guy.
No, he's really good. I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just saying he's not a super. This is not like Kevin Durant-esque kind of player. He maybe can be. If he takes another step, he'll be in that conversation.
He probably needs a couple more steps, but
maybe. I don't know.
But
he's good though. He's one of the best young stars. So
yeah,
he's
a good player, but that's an overpay. But
this is what I'm saying.
You overpaying a little bit for like. There's some rumblings that maybe Brunson takes a little less on his deal, like because they got Mikal Bridges, he'll sacrifice a little bit to make sure everybody gets to stay together. Which then it kind of washes out, but either way, still in the moment it's an overpay. But then you seen the next deal happen after that, where on draft day the Wizards traded Denny Avdia to the Trailblazers for like 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I never know what the Wizards are doing. I try not.
It was a good deal for the Wizards. I just don't know why the Trailblazers added 2 first-round picks for a guy that most people don't know.
I also don't know ever what the Trailblazers are doing. That organization has made me mad ever since they didn't trade Damian Lillard to the Heat.
I mean,
just because Joe Cronin didn't, whatever his name is, was so mad that Damian Lillard wanted to go to the Heat. He wanted to trade him anywhere but the Heat.
Yeah,
it's again. That's my Heat fandom getting in the way. But yeah, Klay Thompson's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Paul George is kind of the biggest name that's gonna be moving. Chris Paul could be a solid player wherever he goes. That could
he will get a minimum contract and
I
play
still-
half the games.
I still think he could be a solid player though for a contending team.
I mean, I think he's a good guy to have in the locker room. Like, I think he can play.
Do you think
he
he's
can come up to
washed?
the-
I don't think he's washed.
compared to what he was, yes.
Okay, obviously.
But he can definitely like still provide some value. I just think he's hurt so much that even the value he provides is like you have to cut that in half. And once you get that, it's like, all right, this is a cool backup point guard for half the games. Like, yeah.
I mean,
He's
I think the skill. I mean, I think he has the skill talent of a starting point guard in the league, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to probably. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Again, I feel like the whole him going to the Warriors, like that whole team dynamic, just didn't really fit him. It's like Chris Paul was just playing second fiddle to
I mean,
Steph the whole time.
they just traded to make contracts work.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an interesting little experiment for a year, but
I'm just saying, if he goes on a team that needs a floor general, I think he would be pretty solid.
places I would like to see him go, I wouldn't mind if we got him for a minimum deal.
So I'm saying, if you go on the Lakers, I think he'd be pretty good.
Yeah, San Antonio is interesting just to like teach those.
I don't think
younger
he would.
players
He
how
wants
to
to win
play.
a ring, though. That's
He-
the thing. He'll never go this.
Yeah, I
place.
think he wants to win, and I think he wants to stay close to home. His family lives in LA, so that'll be the most likely scenario.
Yeah. I mean, the Heat fan in me also thinks that he'd be pretty good on the team, but I don't think he's going to go there unless the Heat can somehow offer him more money, which they really can't. But no, again, I think he'd be a really good fit on the Lakers, and I
Yeah.
think that's a very plausible place for him to land.
It depends on if we get Rondo as our head coach, though, because that could cause some real problems. So we have to see. Maybe they just have like distance. One has to be on one side of the court, the other has to be on the other. Like,
I don't think you want that going on your
Nah.
team, though. But again, I mean, I'm just saying though, if LeBron says get Chris Paul, they're gonna get Chris Paul.
I mean, I could see it.
If
Especially
LeBron
because he's
jumps, you
taking the
say
pay
how
cut.
high. If LeBron says jump, you already jumped 5 seconds ago.
I mean, the Lakers haven't operated that way in a while, though. Like, there's been some things he wanted. Like, he famously wanted Kyrie last offseason, and we didn't do it. I really
I
wish he would
think
have done
you
it.
guys tried very hard to do it.
I don't think so.
I think you guys tried.
The deal that leaked was not trying.
I think you guys tried to get him. You maybe didn't put your best foot forward, but
That's-
you guys
yeah,
did
that's
try. You
the
guys
problem.
did try to get Kyrie, though.
Didn't put the best foot forward. So did you really try? If you didn't try your
Yes.
best, did you really even try?
Okay, there's a way between trying and like being desperate where you do anything to get him. They weren't at a point where they're going to do anything to get him, but they still tried to get him.
Looking back at how he played last season, would 2 first-round picks and enough like ancillary players
Bro,
for
you
max
don't even
salary?
do you remember everything that was going on though with Kyrie Irving?
I personally never had as big as problem with it as everybody else did. Like,
Bro,
I think a lot of it was circumstance, like time, being during COVID, his certain viewpoints, very out there viewpoints. But I would never have as big a problem with it. To me, on the court, he was always a really good player.
I mean,
and
yeah, that was never the question. It was
It was
is he
like-
actually going to be on the court? And is
And-
he going to be a distraction in the locker room?
And my thing is like, okay, before last season, when was the last time he was not on the court for like things that was under his control? Like that when he posted that video clip, that was under his control. That was bad. But besides that, it was COVID, and I think we're we're enough removed from there. So I would have bet on it.
Oh yeah, there's a reason why the Mavericks did.
I mean, and we've seen it work. Like this is a pairing we knew worked. Like those two, like
Oh yeah, I definitely thought the Lakers should have went for it, but they weren't gonna. Risk their entire future on a guy that was a little wary on what you would get from him. But with that, we're gonna throw it to break. When we come back, we'll wrap up maybe some of this NBA talk, maybe get into some Husker talk. We'll see. You're listening to the Daily Nebraskan Show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through July 2nd is 20% off grass-fed New York strips. Plus, buy a mystery box and get 3 New York strips free. Also, buy 1 salami, get 1 50% off. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Service that'll have you craving more with every bite. Soulful Casino offers everything from pulled pork to fried chicken, catfish, ribs, and even quesadillas. You want sides? They've got them. From fries, green beans and baked beans to collard greens, potato salad, and sweet dill corn. Stop by for lunch as they have specials Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. That's Soulful Casino, located in Havelock, where every bite you take fills the soul.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for The Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relieved. The team at The Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Ironhide Construction is a Nebraska-based general contracting and steel construction firm. Their expert team is experienced in building innovative construction solutions across several industries. While they were previously known for their extensive experience in steel erection and metal buildings, they've continued to evolve over the last several years into a full-service general contracting firm. They take pride in their commitment to quality, cutting-edge technology, and having a passion for what they do. For more information about their services or to discuss an upcoming project, visit www.ironhideconstruction.com or call 402-420-4961.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. Navigating the legal system can be stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. When you're in need of legal assistance, trust Liberty Law Group to fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The Electrical Workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Old School with DP and J.
And Todd Bowles, I'm gonna tell you this, DP, his voice does not match his body type.
That's what I'm saying. He's never I don't know how you can be led by Todd Bowles' voice.
That's a fireable offense anyway.
Like his facial expression is top notch. Then his voice, because it's literally you're there expecting. It's like Mike Tyson.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Do you need your event or venue secured? Call Tank Security Team. Tank Security Team is Lincoln's #1 non-lethal security company. Tank Security Team offers first-class security with efficient and quicker response times. Hire Tank Security Team. No hassle, no headaches. Call Tank at 402-310-3589 and get secured today.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello and welcome back into the Daily Nebraskan show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Ben and Cameron still here with you on 93.7 The Ticket. So we had a lot of NBA talk in mostly free agency. I kind of want to go into the draft more, and if some news breaks with free agency, we'll talk about it. But what was your most favorite picks out of this draft, just first of all?
My favorite pick in the draft was definitely the Timberwolves trading up to get Rob Dillingham. Like, to me, he has like the biggest ceiling of anybody in the class, in my opinion. Like, if he ever gets the defense under control and gains a little weight, I legit think he could be like an all-star level point guard. So to get him for two 12-year-olds, essentially, in picks that are that far out, I think it was a genius move by Tim Connolly, the same guy who built the Nuggets over there with the Timberwolves now. So I think that was a really good pick. I really like the Bucks second-round pick in Tyler Smith. I think he's going to be like a really good, impactful player if they give him a chance to play. The Lakers pick at 17, obviously, Dawn Connect, somebody who was projected in almost unanimously to go like top 10. Fell all the way to 17. Very excited about him. I like the Wizards pick of Bub Carrington at 14. He's really talented. Other than that, there was like some other picks that I liked, didn't love. There's definitely a couple picks that I have some pretty strong feelings about in the opposite direction.
So there is one certain pick I want to get to in the second round, and we'll talk about it. As Cameron already knows what I'm talking about. We haven't even discussed it. I think he already knows where I'm going to be heading with that. But my favorite pick in the first round, I mean, one that was very unexpected for me, but I liked it, was Zach Edey to the Grizzlies.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? I like it. I think the Grizzlies, they've operated though like they needed a big. They need, like, when Steven Adams got hurt, they have needed a big. They've always used a traditional big. Like, I think a traditional big next to Jaren Jackson Jr. will be very scary.
Honestly, I feel like yes, they needed a big, but personally, I would have liked to see them go with somebody who can like keep pace with the Grizzlies and how they play. Like,
I think Zach Edey's more athletic than people give credit to. I mean, I gotta be honest.
I seen him play Purdue last year, and like, while he's more athletic than I think people are like assume because he's 7'5", like people just assume he's like super slow and plodding, which in a way he kind of is, but he's not like totally like the slowest guy in the league. But like, watching him play Purdue last year, there were times where like they had to like kind of slow it down so he could catch up. I can only imagine at like the warp speed the Grizzlies play at, like with Ja Morant, like he's gonna really be trailing the play, and like that's concerning.
I don't think so, man.
I don't know, man. I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about him being switched on to guards on the perimeter. Like, I really do think that's going to be like an easy way to get him off the court. Like, we saw guys like Jonas Valanciunas for the Pelicans last year, and how he became almost unplayable for that team because he couldn't switch on to like guards or even wings. So if Edey has that same problem at the NBA level, take him at 9. I feel like you could have traded back. Like, he's the one guy I think that pretty unanimously he wasn't going to get picked in the lottery. Like, I don't see
there was
the other
rumblings
spot.
about him going higher than people thought.
There was definitely some. I think that was Memphis, to be fair. Like, I think everybody who was like saying he would go high was probably Memphis. But I don't know. I just think they could have traded back. 2, I would have liked the fit of a guy like Khalil Ware, who you guys got at 15. Like, I think he would have been the perfect fit for Memphis. I know he wasn't mocked that high.
I like the Heat pick of Ware.
I know he wasn't mocked that high, but like in a draft like this where it's so flat at the top and there's not like top end talent, like, I would rather draft for fit, and I feel like he's the perfect fit for them. He shoots threes, he blocks shots, he catches lobs, and he's like mobile and fast.
I'm just saying, for the system, I think Edey fits the Grizzly system better than like, bro. I'm so confused what the Trailblazers were doing with getting Quingen.
I think they have moves to make. I think they're gonna move one of Robert Williams or DeAndre Ayton.
I'm just what I'm saying. They have to.
Yeah.
You have so many traditional centers on the team. Like, you can't, like, this is the whole thing that I don't get. It was like Ayton was supposed to be the big key that they got out of the Damian Lillard trade. Like, he's supposed to be a cornerstone guy for this team, and then you go and draft his replacement the very next year. Like it's so like you have to get rid of Ayton now. Like I don't think you can just.
I think they're interested in playing them together. So
It's
I
not
know
gonna work.
I've
Aiden's
seen-
Aiden's gonna give. This is gonna be a whole like, bro. So the Heat had Hassan Whiteside on their team, and they drafted Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo was obviously an amazing pick, but it pushed Whiteside out the door, and he didn't even want to play anymore because they're like, I know you're wanting to start this guy.
Yeah.
I know this is who you're wanting to start. Why am I on the team right now? Like, it's gonna be that kind of a dynamic. Aiden's very similar, I feel like, to Whiteside in that sense, where like he will be like, why'd you draft him? Am I not?
Well, Coach Chauncey Billups claims that in the Trailblazers workout of Klingon shot the lights out. Like, he really shot the ball really
I don't
well.
think he's a bad pick. I mean, again, he's going to a bad Trailblazers team, so
I mean,
we'll probably
if
never hear of him again.
If he can shoot, he's perfect.
He's a good player.
If he can shoot, he's perfect. Like,
I'm
you
not
can
saying-
play him
yeah.
alongside Aiden if he can shoot,
I
and
don't
that
think
type of
you
rim
can, though.
protection is.
I don't think you can, though. I don't think he'll shoot to be able to play it.
That's the thing. I don't know how much I believe in the shot, especially early in their career.
Exactly.
But if he can shoot, like I said, like, so he asked Klingon, the quote was, he asked Klingon, like, why didn't you shoot more at UConn? Like, if you can shoot like this, why didn't you always shoot more? And he said that he gave him a really impressive answer. Like, Klingon was just like, I wanted to do what coach needed me to do to win. Like, I was just doing what coach asked. So that's why he didn't shoot more threes. But
yeah,
I don't know. If he can shoot, it'll work. If not, I project a trade or a serious struggle.
They got to get rid of Ayton, I feel like, either way.
I mean,
I think you trade Ayton either way.
I think some of the screening too is like a big reason why they picked him. Like, I think Aiden and like the other guys they had playing big, like, just were not great screeners for guys like Scoot, who kind of need that to get to the rim, which in a way, that's kind of why Memphis picked Edie, I feel like, because they want guys to like screen for Morant and stuff like that. I
think Edie will blossom in Memphis. I got to be honest. I think this is a best case scenario for where he was going to land. I'm just saying, like, if he would have went to a team like the Trailblazers, I think we never would hear of Edie ever again.
Personally, I feel like the best fit for Edie would have been like kind of where his camp kind of wanted him to go. Like, would have been Denver late in the draft. I feel like that would have been like a really, really good fit, just because him next to Jokic, who can shoot and pass. And
Bro, they would never play him next to Jokic, though.
Why not? They could play him in the Aaron Gordon spot. Aaron Gordon just sits in the dunker all
want
day.
two slower bigs?
I mean,
in a
on
starting
defense
lineup?
you get killed, but on offense, I don't know how you really guard.
This is what I'm saying, though. It's
Which
like
is partially like the same thing for Memphis. To me, it's like
if you play
for Memphis, we seen how it worked with Jaren Jackson, right? Like, and Steven Adams, like, we saw that when the Grizzlies really needed to win the game at the end of the game, Steven Adams couldn't stay in. Like, he just couldn't switch. He wasn't switchable enough. They ended up having to go to lineups with Jaren Jackson at the 5. And I think this pick kind of just puts you right back there.
I don't think Jaren Jackson at the 5, though, is sustainable when trying to win in the playoffs, to be honest.
I don't think so either. So I don't mind the pick of a big. I just don't think Edie's that guy because of how slow he is. Like, I just think he will get played off the court.
So before we go to break, I want to touch on the second round pick of Bronny James, because your Lakers team picked Bronny. A lot. This caused, I'm just gonna say, an uproar on social media, and I'm gonna give my opinion, and then I'll let you go. I'll let you close it out on the segment, because I personally don't understand why this move angered so many people. It can't be because they don't like Bronny. Because what has Bronny done to anybody? This is a guy that's like worked his entire life to try to make the NBA, and he did it. He got drafted to the Lakers, one of the best franchises ever, if not the best franchise in the league.
The best franchise ever.
Yeah, like so it can't be. It has to be because everyone hates LeBron so much, and then that he got his son. It's like people are just mad about like the nepotism of it, maybe. But like, why is this the thing that finally people are like, what? His son got drafted to his team, bro. This happens all the time.
Which is funny to me.
This happens all the time in the league. Look at any front office in the league. Why do you think Jalen Brunson went to the Knicks? Just go and look at that. Because doesn't his dad work? Isn't it his dad?
He works in the front office, doesn't it?
You don't think that had anything to do with him going to the Knicks? Like it, bro. There's so much of this, and there's so much of like when you're an owner in the league, you pass the team down to your son. Like this, I'm just saying, and even not even in sports, just go in the real world. There's so many people that get jobs because their dad worked there at the same job, and then he got
It's
that
a fact
job.
of life.
This happens all the time. And I don't know why with this move, it just made everyone so mad. I think it's just because everyone doesn't like LeBron.
The funny part to me is that like everybody kept like pointing at the nepotism, and the Lakers only picked him because of his dad. But I think like in a way it's kind of funny because everybody was only hating on the pick because of his dad. Like you only didn't like this pick if you didn't like LeBron. Like otherwise, who really cares about a 55th overall pick?
So I'm
Like,
saying,
just go and look at the history of 55 overall picks and how many of those guys work out or even make the team or any of this stuff. Like if like I challenge anybody who's mad about this pick, tell me another time you've been mad about another number 55 overall pick in the draft. There is none. Like it's just you. It's you only care because it's LeBron and his son. And my thing is, not only is nepotism rampant around the league, front offices, coaching level, it's also like this type of thing has happened before. Like Giannis Antetokounmpo's all his brothers played.
Bro, his brother is on the
I
Bucks.
can't even name all his brothers. And they all
Isn't it
played
like
in the
Thanasis
NBA
is
for
the
at
only
least
one?
a little bit. Yeah,
On the- I'm
Thanasis, Kostas,
The only
Alex,
reason he is on the Bucks is because Giannis is on the team. This guy shouldn't even be on an NBA roster. I'm just going to be honest.
So,
Look at his stats. Like he averages like 2 points a game.
So like that's like people love that. Like it's funny. It's like a running joke. Like so that's one thing. And then also like I remember Matt Barnes tweeted the other day that the reason the Lob City Clippers broke up is because Doc Rivers signed Austin Reeves to a contract bigger than what he was projected to get.
Austin Rivers, you mean?
Yeah, Austin Rivers.
Yeah.
So like it just these type of things happen in the NBA. I feel like it's fairly normal. I think Bronny is like, and of all the kids for it to like happen to, like I think Bronny's like hands down like one of the better ones. Like I think he's a lot better than the Antetokounmpo brothers besides Giannis. Like
Yeah, I mean, it maybe have been a little bit better for him to stay one more year in college to develop. Maybe. But again, you're now in NBA facilities. You're playing with the best, arguably one of the best players of all time, and your dad. Like, I'm just like, this is gonna be such a better learning experience than him going back to USC or any other college. Like,
this is my thing. So like we talk all the time about how college isn't even the same game as the NBA. Like it's so different and all that. But people were just like championing him going back to college. Like he should have stayed. But if it's not the same game, like if they're almost two different sports now with how different the games are, how different they're played, the things being run, like how much is he really going to get better going back to college? And if anything, what if he gets hurt again? What if he has another heart attack? What if he what if he doesn't play well? Like what if he just has a tough year?
Yeah.
Then you're looking at it's almost indefensible. He can't be drafted. Like at least now coming out, you get to keep all the potential you have. Like he has the allure of being young, having potential. And you get to spend that time where you would be splitting like your focus between basketball and even though, I mean, how much would he really be going to school? But it's school and basketball and limited practice time, limited like now you get to every day you wake up, you're a professional basketball player.
Yeah. I mean, and what's even like, I feel like when people say, oh, we should have stayed in college one more year, I feel like that's like with star players, though. You know what I'm like? Or that's more of like an NFL, like a quarterback thing. Like, oh, that quarterback should have stayed in college one more year so we can learn before getting thrown into the bro. What's the difference between him sitting on the bench and developing with the Lakers and him being in college another year? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's not like he's developing either way.
The only difference is reps. And you could argue with him being with the Lakers, he's going to go get to play in the G League most likely for a large portion of the year. He's going to be in the G League, and those reps to me are almost more valuable than the college reps because you're actually seeing NBA systems, NBA talent athletes. Like you're not like your third game on the schedule isn't going to be against somebody's future orthodontist. Like it's going to be against a guy who's trying to get a spot in the league. So in a way, it's the best spot for him to develop into a player that can potentially be in the NBA one day. And to me, like this is just the thing we're seeing now. Like guys get picked young because of potential. Like most of the draft picks were 19 and under. Like they were really young. And a lot of guys had never really proven anything on the college level. Like even some of the guys who got picked in the first round, like AJ Johnson got picked And he played overseas in the NBL for a year. He was supposed to go to Texas. He averaged like 2 points or something like that. Like he averaged less than Bronny did at USC. So if he's worth having a first round pick and there's no outrage there, why is there so much outrage around Bronny besides LeBron?
And there's going to be no pressure on Bronny to have to produce anything for the Lakers. Like nothing. It's not like he's not like he's a Zach Edey where he might be starting. Like, no, he's literally going to probably be in the G League and he's going to be developing. And he saw a chance to get into the NBA and he took it.
My thing is,
that's why I don't get people don't like Bronny.
If it was you, would you not do it for your kid? Like, I don't understand like why people are so mad. Like, if you had the opportunity to get your kid into the NBA, knowing this is their dream,
yeah,
absolutely, like without hesitation, like,
yeah,
I'm gonna pick another. I'm gonna let the team pick another random person at 55 who's not gonna make the roster and get a 2-way contract.
Yeah,
I think I would advocate for my son as much as possible. So
yeah, I don't know. And honestly, it's like he has enough potential, in my opinion, to be a second-round draft pick. Like again, this is a second-round draft pick.
I mean, people argue whether he deserved it or not, but he was a McDonald's All-American and he played good in the McDonald's All-American game. Like he had a really solid performance, and he was like a high-level high school kid. He played at one of the best high schools in the country. He played on the EYBL circuit. He led his team there. Like like he has potential.
He does have potential. People just don't see that because they just look at his stats and him averaging 4 points.
Like, yes, he's small. Like, don't get me wrong. It's going to be an uphill fight because he's 6'1". But like, if there was any 6'1" kid, like Jamal Shead got picked a couple picks before him. And it's like, yeah, Shead is way better. Like, he's a epic defensive player. But like, he's also like years older.
Yeah.
If you're telling me Bronny with his athleticism, how good he already is, all his potential, can't get to at least that level by the time he's that guy's age, then sure, it was a bad pick. But like, once again, it's the 55 pick in the draft. Who really cares?
Yeah. Either way, this is just a low risk, high reward kind of a thing for the Lakers, in my opinion. We're gonna throw it to break. When we come back, we're just gonna have a short, like 4-minute segment to wrap up the show before we get on out of here. So you're listening to the Daily Nebraskan Show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, deal ends June 14th. Join now, online or at your local PF Club.
See Home Club for details.
Hey, Nebraska! Register today for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. If you've experienced a sports injury, joint or back pain, trust your care to Nebraska Orthopedic Center, a proud platinum partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Blaine's Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bure's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Bure's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Take your internet service to new levels with Allo, your award-winning internet provider across our fiber hoods. Allo isn't just about the fastest internet available. It's about connecting you to your world, work, and play seamlessly. Our award-winning service ensures affordable, secure, and reliable connectivity, setting us apart. Ready to transform your internet experience? Experience the fiber difference today. Sign up now at allofiber.com. Allo, connecting your world.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One last segment of the Daily Nebraskan show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Only got a few minutes left of the show. And before we wrap it up, we wanted to touch on the Paul George trade from when he was on the Thunder, got traded to the Clippers, because I'm seeing all over social media people saying that this is one of, if not the worst trade of all time. So for people that forgot, the Clippers traded Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, their 2022 first-round pick, the 2024 first-round pick, their 2026 first-round pick, the Heat's 2021 first-round pick, the Heat's 2023 first-round pick, lottery protected, and then the swap, and then they traded swaps in 2023 and 2025. So they basically traded 5 first-round picks, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then Gallinari, which Gallinari didn't do much after he went. Well, no, he was solid for the Clippers.
He didn't do much.
He didn't do much, though. He was
kind of
so. For people saying this is a bad trade, this was not a bad trade in my opinion. Like, I get they gave up a lot, but like, you are the Los Angeles Clippers. You have been the little brother to the Lakers ever since you got into the league as a team, and you had a chance to get Kawhi Leonard in free agency that year, and an MVP level talent in Paul George, because he was literally like one of the best players in the league, like an MVP caliber player when they traded for him. He was the best player on that Thunder team. He was better than Russell Westbrook, in my opinion, when they traded.
That year, he definitely was.
Yeah. So like, that's what I don't get is like any franchise would kill to do that. Like maybe not the Lakers because you like, oh, I can go and get any star player I want because I'm the Lakers. This is the Clippers we're talking about. Like imagine if the Atlanta Hawks, Kawhi Leonard would be like, hey, Atlanta, I want to go to your team if you go and trade for Paul George. You would give up everything to do that. If you're the Hawks, I feel like you would literally give up everything to get Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on your team. Like, no?
Okay. I agree. At the time, it didn't look that bad. But now that we have the benefit of hindsight,
yes,
I can say this is kind of like where being too thirsty goes wrong. Like, yes, they needed a star. Yes, it wouldn't have been ideal to not do the trade because Kawhi would have went to the Lakers.
He would have went to the Lakers.
But this is like when little brother syndrome goes wrong. Like, yes, like just let the Lakers be good because then you have the chance you have a really promising roster at that point. That roster had just like they got a game off Golden State in the first round when KD was there. Like that was a good team. Like they were building.
Yeah.
You tried to accelerate it. You got Kawhi Leonard. And then he kind of backed you into a corner and made you trade for Paul George. But like, look what you gave up. Like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is definitely like a top 5 player in the NBA. He averaged 30 points for the last 2 years. That Miami 2021 pick ended up being Trey Mann. Not bad. Not a bad player.
He was a solid player.
He was solid. You're not losing any sleep over that. But the one I am losing sleep over, the Clippers unprotected 2022 pick. Do you know who that was?
Who was that?
Jalen Williams.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps me up at night. I gave the Thunder 2 really, really good players.
I mean, you got Paul George.
But now you don't.
Yeah, see, and this is a thing where it's like, I don't think it was a bad trade.
At the time, it wasn't a bad deal.
But now.
But looking back on it, they got fleeced. Because look, next year's class is going to be stacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows the 2025 class, Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, really good class. The Heat's 2025 protected 1-14, which we think the Heat should make the playoffs at least as like a bottom tier team. That's going to go to the Thunder still. If the Clippers, like, they don't have Paul George. We don't know how many games Kawhi's going to play. James Harden, he has injury issues every once in a while.
Him.
But he's hurt every once in a while. And they're trying to trade Russ. So, like, if things go bad for you this year, you could not only have gave them the Heat's pick, you gave them your own, like, you gave them, they have the right to swap. And the Thunder are going to be good. So,
yeah.
Imagine like next year, disaster happens and the Clippers are like, they get the 10th pick and the Thunder win the championship. They can just swap. Imagine how much that hurts. Because then you have a really good pick and a really stacked draft, 2 really good picks in stacked draft. And you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, all to get a player you don't have anymore.
No.
So like
I get it.
Teams need to be careful. If you're going to trade for players, do not trade the entire future. I'd rather trade a bunch of close picks, like picks closer, than picks way down the line because you just don't know what your team is going to look like.
Yeah. No, I get it. But, I get it. But the Clippers had a chance to get a formidable duo. And, sometimes stuff just doesn't work out, man. That's just what I'm doing.
Work out.
Look at how much did the Lakers give up for Anthony Davis?
They're the Clippers. Really, they just need to move, like change names. Like it was never going to work out. It's the Clippers. They're the Clippers.
But how much did the Lakers give up for Anthony Davis?
A lot, but we're the Lakers.
It wasn't that much.
We win though.
It wasn't as much as the Clippers for Paul George. I don't feel like
it was. I think it
was almost.
Arguably at the time, we kind of gave up more because we gave Alonzo and Brandon Ingram and picks.
So I'm saying, and it's just like, one. Like, if the Lakers happen to lose the Heat in that final series, people probably look at that as a terrible trade.
And that was never going to happen.
But I'm just saying, if the Lakers didn't win that 2020 championship,
that was never going to happen.
This is the Daily Nebraskan Show. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your